Welcome to a brand new episode of All Things Honor. We are reviewing episode 36. That is right. We are back, and we had a lot of things happen on this episode. Lots of matches. Our champion is suspended, but we had an awesome main event. That was more than 5 minutes. So that is a victory all in itself. So, with all that, let's review episode number 36 of Ring of Honor TV. So first we start off with the Stokely Hathaway promo because in case you guys forgot, he's a part of the board of directors. Hathaway says that Eddie Kingston is suspended for threatening to beat up Hathaway and threaten his life. I kind of feel like that was a knockoff of when Tony Khan was suspending slash firing CM Punk, and he said that CM Punk threatened his life, and he's gone to wrestling shows for so many years, and he for the first time in his life felt unsafe to come to work. I felt like that was a knockoff of that. Um, Hathaway says if he tries to touch him again, he is going to be fired, and he then tells us to enjoy Ring of Honor. So this is definitely not the way I would do it, especially when we are a month and a half away from Final Battle, and we still don't really know what the title match is going to be. Is it going to be him versus Jay Lethal? And we'll get to that later on. Is it going to be him and Angelico? And a build would be nice. So I don't know how long the suspension is for. I'm figuring they're going to do something maybe on Rampage this week to kind of build into this. But interesting way to start out our Ring of Honor programming. Our first match for the evening is Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal versus The Righteous, and this match was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be like a quick tag match, like most of Christopher Daniels' matches are. And if you guys are new here, I have this thing where I just do not understand why we give Christopher Daniels matches on Ring of Honor, because we have a whole young roster that we could be using, and we give him matches. Why? I don't know. This match was fine. I mean, the Righteous win. They're looking to climb up the ranks to hopefully get another shot at the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. We do not know who the champions will be come Final Battle. We know the Guns have that match at Full Gear against MJF, and whoever he's picking his partner to be, I'm going to assume it might be Samoa Joe. If not, maybe he'll go at it alone like he did Wrestle Dream, but Righteous win. Good match. And the crowd really likes the Righteous. That's always really fun to see. Ethan Page promo next. He says he is still upset about what happened with him and Tony Nese. Basically, a couple weeks ago, Tony Nese beat Ethan Page. He had a 5-0 winning streak. Tony Nese cost him that. He says that the old Ethan Page would cheat in his match tonight to get retribution, but he has vowed to turn over a new leaf within Ring of Honor, and he hopes Nese is watching this match closely so he knows what is going to come his way in the future. He says if it was not for Nese, he would be standing here with the Ring of Honor World title, which honestly really confused me because even though he was 5-0 and he mentioned the world title, there was never like a thing between him and Kingston. So don't really know where we were going with that. But he says even though he is upset, he is still excited for his match tonight. This was good. I like Ethan Page Ring of Honor. We'll get more when we go to his match. Next, we have one of the two Renegades. Both Renegade twins were in singles action tonight, which was really fun to see. It was Robin versus Leyla, and this was a quick match. It wasn't a squash. There were no squashes on tonight's episode. This is amazing to see. It's almost like Ring of Honor is listening to me. If they are, hi. After the match, Charlotte beats up Leyla Hersch and Rachael Ellering out of all people. Remember, we talked about this last week that I had a feeling she was on a tier 3 deal, and this kind of clarified that a little bit. Rachael Ellering comes out and makes the save. Ellering looks to shake hands with Hirsch, and Hirsch just pushes her out of the way. Now, this is very interesting, and we'll get to this more when we go to their backstage segment later on. Give me this tag team, or give me this match, because it's going to be really good. I like this stuff. This is where I get excited and I love Ring of Honor again. Next, we have Lee Moriarty versus Darius Martin. This was a rematch from last week. Shane Taylor was banned from ringside because last week he got involved and helped Lee Moriarty win. It's similar to what I said last week. These two truly are the future of the business. I would not be shocked by this time next year if either one of them are champion, whether it's tag team with Darius and Dante, whether it's individual. They are truly future in Ring of Honor, AEW, whatever the case may be. This was a true back and forth. Either man could have won. Martin gets the win here that he should have gotten last week since Taylor was not involved. I was very impressed. Fantastic match. And it was good. And this is not the last time we see Shane Taylor in this episode. Next, we have the Josh Woods Ethan Page match, and Mark Sterling's crew outsmarts Page again. And I love that even though Jade has moved on to WWE, we still are using Mark Sterling, and he's like actually like a prominent figure on Ring of Honor. It's like so nice to see. It's like, wow. So Sterling had the ref distracted while Nice got involved in the match. This helped Woods take advantage and pin Page for the win. Page was not happy about being outsmarted. I wouldn't be either. Before everyone got involved, this was a great match, and I will say that I do hope if Kingston does not lose to either Jay Lethal or Angelico, whichever way we're gonna go with that, I really do hope that Ethan Page is the one to defeat Eddie Kingston to win the Ring of Honor World Championship. He is the most deserving person on the roster. He is just he's amazing. He's such a nice guy in real life too. I've met him in real life. One of the nicest guys you will ever meet. I don't know really where we're gonna go with this. I'm assuming Ethan Page is gonna find some sort of partner and they're gonna do a tag team match. But this was good. I really like this. I like this storyline. I'm excited to see where it goes. Ring of Honor showed a highlight video of the Mongol Embassy regaining the six-man championships. They did that last night on Dynamite. Why did we even give the Hung Bucks the titles? This makes me so mad because when they announced this match earlier in the day, I knew. I was like, they're gonna regain the titles. And why the Hung Bucks had two defenses when winning the titles. And this is why people do not take Ring of Honor seriously, and it sincerely pisses me off. Stop doing this. Next, we had a four-way match. This was truly the episode of the multi-man matches. We had a four-way match, and we had Slim J versus Gringo Loco versus Metalik versus Angelico. And do not blink while you're watching this match, because if you blink, you're gonna miss something. Because oh my god, talk about all the high flying, fast pace. This was a very good match. All four of these wrestlers are a great addition to the Ring of Honor roster, and it truly shows like how diverse Ring of Honor's roster could be. It's technical wrestling, it's pure wrestling, it's high flying, it's tag team, it's everything. And Angelico picks up the huge win as he heads into his title match with Kingston. Like I said, we don't know when that match is taking place. Maybe it's at Final Battle. I'm going to assume that the Jay Lethal match is going to take place at Full Gear. It's going to be on 0 Hour, or it's going to be on the actual pay-per-view. And then the Angelico match is going to be at Final Battle. This is my thought process. There is no conceivable way that the Jay Lethal match is happening at Final Battle. I will say that. Then Serpentico comes out to celebrate with his friend. That was really exciting. So that was fun. Sonjay Dutt cuts a promo. This was very funny. So Dutt says that 20 years ago he met his best friend Jay Lethal, and he also met Eddie Kingston. He said that they are two very different people, as Kingston is a garbage wrestler while Lethal is a class act. Hathaway interrupts, and he says he agrees with everything that Dutt has been saying. They celebrate Jeff Jarrett's win that had taken place on Rampage. It was Rampage. That guarantees Jay Lethal a title opportunity. Then Sonjay Dutt asks when Jay's match is. Hathaway says his assistant will email Dutt as Dutt chases Hathaway back to his office. So, a little clash of the managers here. Again, this was also really funny. I really did like this. And like I said, I'm assuming the Jay Lethal match is going to happen at Full Gear. I will guarantee you that. Because, AEW pay-per-view time means Ring of Honor titles will be defended. Make it make sense. Next, we had Rachael Ellering versus LMK. I can't really say this was a squash because LMK actually got offense throughout the match, but Ellering gets the win. Again, I said this last week. I believe she's on a tier 3 deal. It looks like she's starting a program with Leyla Hersch, so I like this. She's again a very good addition to the Ring of Honor roster. So very excited for this. Very excited. Next, like I said, this was the episode of multi-matches. We had the Wingmen versus the Gates of Agony versus the Infantry versus Iron Savages. And the funny thing is, throughout everyone's entrance, the Wingmen were trying to cut a promo, but they kept getting interrupted by everyone's theme song, and it was so funny. And first of all, this match was a lot longer than our last two tag team main events. If you haven't been watching, the last two Ring of Honor episodes before this episode were triple threat or four-way matches between tag teams within the Ring of Honor division that lasted less than 5 minutes. This was more than that. Thank God. The wingmen really shine in this match, and I do hope that we do see them throughout the coming weeks. I do believe that Nick is going to be joining his brother. I don't really know when. He, 90 days, you know. So I really do hope that before Nick does get here, that we do see Ryan and Peter on Ring of Honor. They're just so entertaining, and I feel like, they really did shine this match. Like, they got a lot of offense. They were interacting with the crowd. Very nice. But just like the last 2 weeks, Gates back and he get the win. They are now 3-0 in Ring of Honor tag team competition. Looks like they're calling out the Ring of Honor tag team champions as well. But if you've been following along, our Ring of Honor tag team champion, one of them is hurt. So we don't know where we're going with that. I mean, who knows? By the time in 2 weeks, the Guns might be Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. I really hope that does not happen. Next, we showed a highlighted video of Mark Briscoe returning to TV on last week's Rampage. Now, I was actually in the crowd for that, and the crowd was so excited to see Mark Briscoe. For those who don't know, he was injured with a knee injury. He was actually supposed to wrestle Claudio for that Ring of Honor World Championship at Death Before Dishonor before this injury. So who knows what he is going to do? Maybe he'll wrestle Joe at Final Battle. Hell, maybe he'll be the one to wrestle Eddie Kingston. Should be interesting to see what happens. Next, we get Nick Comoroto versus Action Andretti versus Lee Johnson. Talk about a very random group of individuals in this match. And it was on this episode that I found out that Nick Comoroto does not have a Titantron for his entrance. And that makes me so mad because this guy has literally, he's been here for so long. Like, he was in the factory. How does he not have a Titantron? Shane Taylor was watching this match from the back. It looks like he's continuing to scat out Lee Johnson to join Shane Taylor Promotions. We've been building that a little bit before Lee Johnson and Julia Hart went on their honeymoon. Andrade gets the win here by pinning Comoroto, as Shane Taylor is very frustrated by this match. And commentary had a good point. Was he frustrated because Nick Comoroto lost, or was he frustrated because Lee Johnson lost? Makes you wonder. This match was fine. It really wasn't anything special, but plant seeds for whatever's happening next with Shane Taylor Promotions. Next, we have the other Renegade, Charlotte Renegade versus Kiera Hogan. Both Renegade twins saw a lot of offense in their matches on this episode, which was really nice because I talked about this last week a little bit, how, like, the Renegade twins are just there. They're not doing anything, so to actually see both of them wrestle, singles match, fun. Kiera Hogan was trying so desperately to get the crowd involved in this match, but unfortunately they were not invested. Kiera Hogan gets the win. Maybe I'm like really trying to think of like other matches for Athena, because now what happened in the main event, I don't think it's gonna be Billie Starkz versus Athena for the title at Final Battle. I would not mind if they ran back her and Kiera. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I wouldn't mind it. Leyla Hersch promo next. So Lexi Nair goes to interview Leyla Hersch. Rachael Ellering interrupts and she checks in on Hersch, like asking how she feels. And typical Leyla Hersch just says, "Who are you?" I laughed. Very funny. Hersch says that she has had a bad enough day and the last thing she needed was someone getting involved in her match. Ellering says the reason she got involved was the person who was supposed to be out there was not, obviously referring to Maria. Hersch says even though Maria was not here for her on this episode does not mean she will not be there for her in the future. Ellering continues to say the only reason she got involved was because she thought it was the most honorable thing to do, and before Hersch storms away, she says it wasn't. So, like I said, it looks like we're getting maybe a match here, maybe a tag team, whatever the case may be. I really like this. Keep doing this. I love multiple woman storylines. Imagine if any other wrestling company can do the same thing. It'd be like a magical thing. Next, we have the Workhorsemen, Cole Carter and Kirk Garrison versus Gravity, Dalton Castle, and the Boys. If you are also new here, you know that I hate multi-man tag team matches because they make no sense. They're just randomly put together. There's too much going on and it's just bad. But I will say I enjoyed the fact that Gravity had on the mask that the boys wear on top of his regular mask. It was so funny. And on top of this, There's a point in the match where Dalton Castle like throws the boys to the outside to do a leap onto their competitors, and Gravity wanted to be involved because he was just so excited to be teaming with Dalton Castle and the boys. He was doing like the clap along when they won the match. It was so funny and so entertaining. I don't care what we're doing with Gravity next. Can you just have him with them? Because it was great. Keep doing this. Love it. You could just tell that Dalton Castle is just having so much fun. He is truly the most entertaining part on Ring of Honor every single week, which is why I really hope that they give him that TV title match at Final Battle and he actually beats Joe, because I think it makes the most sense in the world, but that probably won't happen, and I'm just hoping for no reason. But faces win. Love this. Keep doing it. And now it is time for our women's main event that lasted 13 minutes, which is nearly like 5 to 6 times more than both main events the last 2 weeks combined have lasted. I love that. Now, as Athena was making her entrance, she kept looking for Billie Starkz to join her, but she did not come out. This is how you plant seed for a feud, and it also leads to what happened at the end of this match. For me, this match was way better than their final battle match, and maybe it was just because Mercedes was very, very injured when they had that match last year. But they took it to each other. I mean, they were all around the ring. There was this one spot where like they were on the guardrail and they just did Mercedes delivered a suplex to Athena, and it was phenomenal. Towards the end of the match, there were so many near falls that either one of them could have won. And the match ends with the hooded figure hitting Mercedes in the face with the women's championship. Athena takes advantage and gets the win, and the hooded figure is revealed to be Billie Starkz, which in my opinion means that Billie Starkz has graduated minion in training, and she is now fully a minion, which is really, really awesome. This match was really good. It was the perfect way to end Ring of Honor. Athena goes to 41-0 in singles competition. Wow. I cannot wait to see where we go with this next week. I really hope Billie Starkz is a graduate. I'll just be so excited. I'll be like, yes, you deserved it. Proud of my minion overlord. Overall, I did think this episode was very good. Don't get me wrong. This is just me nitpicking. There was way too many multi-person matches on this week's episode, and I understand we're trying to get so many people on the episode. This is just not the way to do it. Like, you need to build storylines, and we saw some storylines being built on this episode, but still, multi-man matches, not the way to do it. I also do not like the fact that we've kind of ignored the board of directors for the past like month and a half, and now randomly we're bringing it up in this Eddie Kingston storyline. To me, that also doesn't make too much sense. And also, if you watch the episode, you could see that there is nobody in those upper levels, that the whole crowd is literally like on the floor. So there was maybe like 200 to 300 people there. And it's so heartbreaking, which is why I know from a production standpoint, it makes so much sense to film Ring of Honor before and after Collision. But from a crowd standpoint, Tony Khan, you might want to look into other options because it was just so sad. And it's the reason why people do not take Ring of Honor so seriously. And it sucks because the program's good. It's just little things we need to fix. But other than that, that has been episode number 36 of Ring of Honor. And this has been another episode of All Things Honor. And I will see you back next week as we review episode number 37.